Hello friends, it's Scott from Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride for my keto journey. Check in with you once a week to update you on my keto progress and try to check in with you at least one at a time during the week. Usually to share something I've discovered about the ketogenic lifestyle, but occasionally to share a little something that I've discovered about this journey that we call life. Today is Saturday, which means that it is an update day for me. I'm going to update you on my relationship with Earth's gravity, on how things are going for me so far this fall, and yeah, that's kind of how things are going to be. So kind of getting back to normal, as Liz put it, getting back into school mode, which is very much true. First week back at school for everybody this week, well, except for Brandon. I guess Brandon goes back to college on Monday. But getting back into the school routine, it will change slightly here in another week when my daughter starts going to the early morning Bible study seminary. And I will be getting up. I think we've decided I'm going to get up and get her there, and then Liz is going to pick her up. We're only going to be doing that for a couple of months because my daughter is going to be 16 here in October, and then she will be driving herself, which I think mom and dad are both looking forward to. But in the meantime, I think, like I said, I think I'm going to get her there, and my wife's going to pick her up and take her home, so that I can get my workout routine done before I head into the office. I think that's sort of the plan. But anyway, that's a really long way of saying I think we're kind of getting back into our to the school routine, to the fall routine. And overall, I'd say things are going pretty well. Not super excited about my relationship with Earth's gravity. Having said that, things are better than they might be. To remind you guys, a couple of weeks ago, I was at 330.0. So there's basically been two weigh-ins where I didn't weigh in. I will tell you without knowing for 100% sure because I wasn't able to weigh in exactly when I expected to. 2 weeks ago, I think I was about 334. I'd put on about 4 pounds. You guys may recall I had a little bit of an off week where I really went off plan for a couple of days and that sort of thing. Then last week, of course, I was traveling in Nashville, and I didn't check in right when I got back on Saturday, but checked in on Monday, and I was at 331.8. Checked in this morning, I'm at 329.4, so that's down 0.6 of a pound in 2 weeks. Now, as I just joked with my wife, you can either say, I'm down 0.6 of a pound in 2 weeks, or, hey, I'm down 0.6 of a pound in 2 weeks. Both phrases are exactly the same, but you can tell by the tone that one is a little more excited about that than the other. Quite frankly, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I'm not super depressed that that is not down further. Obviously, I had gotten to 330 and then had a little bit of a slip up and then had moved back down in the right direction. So overall, I think I'm happy with that. Having said that, reaching that 275 by December 31st is now becoming more and more of a reach. I think about 285 is probably more of a realistic goal. But I was talking with Liz about that today and how I've kind of gotten off to a slow or stumbling start with the goals that I've set for myself for the rest of the year. And it would be real easy to kind of bag that. I think that's what happens to a lot of us, perhaps, when we set our New Year's resolutions. We set a New Year's resolution, which is something that we want to do, but maybe is a bit of a stretch for us. And then maybe it doesn't go well right out of the gate. And next thing you know, we're like, yeah, I'll work on it next year. But I'm not going to do that. Because there is still a lot of time left in this year. As a matter of fact, I asked my wonderful friend Google this morning how many weeks are left in 2024, and the answer, of course, is 19. Now, in order for me to get down to 285, I think it was 286. I'd lose 44.4 pounds is what I could do. That's like 2.3 pounds a week, something like that. So it's doable. And I still have a lot of time left in the year. And it would be very easy because I've kind of stumbled out of the gate, so to speak, with my goals to go, I'm not going to worry so much about the weight loss, or I'm not going to worry about my goals at all. And I think there have been times where I've done that. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before. Like I said, something that comes to mind for me, of course, is New Year's resolutions, how that often happens to us. But I still have 19 weeks in this year to be really successful. I haven't done the great sprint out of the gate that I was hoping for. But we've been getting into a new routine with school. Had my anniversary in there, by the way. Did have a keto treat this past week. My wife and I celebrated our 21st anniversary. And it hasn't been perfect, but I would say overall, as I'm going to talk about the other actual specific processes that I've been trying to put in place, it's been going pretty well, and I'm pretty pleased. As far as the exercising goes, Getting my rucking in with a 40-pound pack every day. I have done that every day this week. Had to do it a couple times in the evening because I think by the end of this week, I've finally gotten back where I'm getting into the routine that I'm comfortable with, which is getting up around 6, and that gives me time to get my rucking in and get my DDPY in the morning. I would say through Wednesday of this week, I was still getting up too late, and so I was getting my rucking in the morning. I came home one day during lunch and did my DDPY. I did my DDPY one other day, I think, during the evening. So I've kind of been still getting back to that routine that I want to have. But I've been doing everything, and I've been getting everything done, so I'm really grateful for that. DDPY custom program, that's been going really well. As I mentioned, I've been doing that every day. Took a little break on the push-ups and squats challenge. I need to get back to that. I want to do it. I think it's something that I can do. I think it's something that will kind of push me forward. So I'm gonna work on that from an exercise perspective. From a taking care of myself perspective, getting up at 6 a.m. I have worked my way back to where I think I did that on Friday. Finally. I was like 7 o'clock in the morning a couple times earlier this week. I was 6:15 on Wednesday. I was 6:05 on Thursday. And I was 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Now, I don't do that on Saturday and Sunday. I still get up. I'm not going to say early. It's certainly not early. I got up at about 7:45 this morning. I'll probably do something similar tomorrow for Sunday. But during the week, getting up at 6 a.m. is good, and I'm finally getting there. I think, like I mentioned already, I think we're kind of really finally rolling into a fall routine. So yeah, that overall has been pretty good though. Getting into bed by 10. I'm getting better at that too. I will say, I think it was Thursday. Liz and I were both really tired, and I think we went to bed. I want to say lights were off before 10, at like 9:30, 9:45. And so you can feel how that routine kind of slowly shifts as I have been getting up earlier. It's easier to go to bed earlier, and now that everybody is kind of back into their routine too, it's very helpful because everybody else is up in the morning too, and so that makes it easier for me. So that's been going pretty well overall. Nutrition, focusing on whole foods, eating 2 healthy meals every day, avoiding keto snacks and treats until my birthday. Obviously, I forgot about my anniversary. Didn't have to have a keto treat that day, but we did, and we enjoyed that. But overall, that's been going really well. Staying away from nuts, seeds, etc. That has been going well for me also. So I'm not making the progress that I had hoped to be making. Like I said, I feel like to some degree I've stumbled out of the gate with the new goals, with the new, new whatever. I guess I just suddenly set a thing for the rest of the year, and haven't been making great progress on that yet. But I am going to give myself some grace, and like I said, I think in the past there have been times where I've been kind of talking about this in some sort of nebulous thing that we all do, but there have been times in my life where I definitely have set aggressive goals, and when I stumbled, so to speak, out of the gate, I've said, forget it, I'm not going to do it, and that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay focused on that, and I can still make some really serious progress between now and the end of the year, knowing that I've set that up as something to help motivate me. There's no particular deadline at the end of the year. Nothing in particular is going to happen. But it's a good way for me to track my progress, and a good way for me to try to stretch myself and push myself. My other big goals were to have my first t-shirt sales for my t-shirt business by September 1st. We have actually sold, I think it is 4 t-shirts now. Woo! Don't spend it all in one place, right? But yeah, so we got that up and going, and that's good. I have a long-term goal to work on becoming a health coach by next summer. And the other one, the professional one that I've also kind of stumbled out of the gate on, is getting my EIA, which is becoming an enrolled agent. I got some tests I need to pass by November 1st. I have not been doing a good job of studying for that. Again, there's a lot of time between now and November. I can do that. I can get those tests done. So I'm going to recommit myself to redouble my efforts to make some progress on that. I would say that for this upcoming week, my goal is to keep on keeping on, get back to my routine. I think that I can see that number on the scale move if I really do a good job of tightening up just little things really on my nutrition, and focusing on not so much controlling my portions, because you don't do that so much on keto, but really focusing on just eating my 2 meals. I still have been snacking a little bit. Thankfully, it hasn't been like nuts and seeds and that sort of thing, but I've had some cheese sticks and that kind of stuff. Things that I think I could tighten up a little bit and see some of that progress that I'm hoping to see. So yeah, that's an update. That's what's going on with me. The weather's kind of started to cool off here a little bit, although as I say that, I think it's supposed to be about 90 degrees here today. But the days are starting to get shorter, which means I can start looking forward to college football and deer hunting season. Fall is my favorite season of the whole year. I spent, a lot longer than I had expected to outside today, sighting in a crossbow. And it was plenty warm. It was mid 80s, and I was out in the sun and, cocking the crossbow and then shooting it and seeing where it's at and trying to kind of tweak it a little bit to get it accurate. It was plenty warm. I will definitely say that. But looking forward to the next few weeks here. I've got my birthday here in, 3 weeks. It isn't even quite 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks from Thursday. So September 5th is my birthday. And I'm going to try to think, what could I do between now and then? I could lose 2, 4, 6, 7 pounds. I could do that, right? 2.5, 5, 7.5 pounds. So I am at 329.4. Let's set a goal. Let's go with 323 even. That would be 7.4 pounds. I think I could do that. What do you guys think? I think that's realistic. 323 by my birthday. Done. And of course, at the end of the day, guys, setting the goals is fun, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Wasn't that fun to watch me try to do some math there in my head? Nothing wrong with setting those goals, but at the end of the day, what's going to get me there is my everyday processes. So, doing my rucking every day for my exercise, my DDPY, getting those push-ups and squats done, taking care of myself by going to bed early, getting up at 6 a.m., making sure I focus on my 2, whole food keto meals per day, and staying away from those treats. That's how I'm going to have the success. So setting the goals is fun. Sometimes it's good to do that, and I think it's a fun thing to do. As my birthday's here in just a couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, what's really going to help me see the success is the everyday things that I do. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Hope you set yourselves up for a great week. I appreciate you. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. Those of you who check in with me, there's a couple of you who check in with me and comment on the videos on a regular basis. I appreciate that very much. I know there's lots of you who watch and don't ever say anything. I appreciate you too. You guys mean a lot to me, and you help keep me accountable, which I really appreciate. Day by day, keep calm and keto on, my friends. We'll talk to you again soon.